Good afternoon. Welcome to the Professor Maima Show. Hope you are doing well on this Tuesday, wherever you're watching me from around the world. So today is a very unique day. There are still continuing demonstrations in Kenya. It's called the Gen Z demonstrations. It started as a demonstration by young people, Gen Zs, Generation Z. Okay, we say Gen Zs, but here in Kenya, they say Generation Z. The Americans will talk of Z, so the Generation Z. So basically, what these young people are demonstrating about is the finance bill. So this finance bill was supposed to raise taxes for people in Kenya, so the government can get revenue to do its projects and pay debts. But it was a lot of taxes, and the economy is bad. People are suffering. Majority of Kenya are jobless. Over 60% of Kenyans are jobless, and even the ones who are working are running some very small money that you cannot even, if you tax, you destroy everything. So now that's why I'm talking about the puzzle of the Gen Z demonstrations. So these demonstrations began peaceful, but now they have morphed into violence and anarchy. That was normal from my view, because this thing has been hijacked by goons and all that. But you see now, this is not lost. The puzzle of the Gen Z demonstrations. This is what should happen. The way I said in my other video, the young men and women should first of all organize themselves, choose leaders, use this opportunity. This is how you do it. Go back to the spaces you are doing, Twitter, TikTok, that's one. Two, and this is very, very easy. Start choosing your leaders that you can work with. I said the youth should have a junior parliament, and I still maintain so. You should be debating so that you are not on the streets. Streets are good, but the moment about the streets, they usually morph into other things. Because you are good on TikTok, you are good on social media to pass your message, isn't it? But you find there are people who are good on the streets, try to paint the Gen Zs as violent, causing havoc. Because the message, may say the message is clear. The message is clear that the Gen Zs want a good life, want jobs, want to be heard, want a forum, the one I'm advocating for. So this forum is whereby you choose your own leaders from the county level, and then when it reaches the national level, you have leaders you can choose. I talked of gender equity. Someone said these days a man and a woman are the same. But me, I still maintain gender equity. You have a man and a woman up there. A president a man, vice president a woman, or vice versa. So now, once this is done, the young men can articulate their issues. What do you want? What is really disturbing? Everyone knows the biggest top is corruption in the country. Number one. Number one is corruption. Number two is unemployment. Most young people in Kenya are unemployed, and this is bringing in a lot of problems. Another issue is the issue of inequality, whereby people who are working and those who are working, the majority are paid less than even our leaders. A leader earns 100 times what a normal Kenyan earns. How can that work? 100 times. Because their salaries are like $100,000. That's like what? Even, okay, $10,000. That's like a million Kenya shillings. While the most Kenyans is earning $100. Is earning here $100. 10,000. One is earning $10,000. That's over 100 times. Also, I'm talking about the puzzle of the Gen Z demonstration. The young people pass the message. What you are seeing on the street now is just goons, politics, trying to make the situation bad. But we know the worst people in this country are our politicians. They are worse. How can I say they're worse? I don't even name an animal. They are worst. They are worse people. They do bad things. They are worse than the devil, yes. In fact, that's a good analogy, worse than the devil. Because they are corrupt, and they do things that do not help the country. So how do you solve the Gen Z demonstration puzzle, the government? If I were them, I would offer them a way out. I would bring forums where people talk, reduce the expenditure in the country, the excesses, ensure that there's free free seeds and fertilizer for the farmers. So when they produce, they give to, as they produce, they do value addition, isn't it? To create jobs. And also to ensure that food supply, food is very cheap. Food should be so cheap in Kenya that anyone who earns some small money can afford. Even people who are working cannot even eat. Imagine you're working in a job earning $100 per month. Once it's cut, you're paid your bills, you have nothing. You have to go and take things on loan. Someone takes tomato that is going like less than $1. I don't know, half, not even half a dollar. 1/10 of a dollar, 10 cents. Someone goes to take on loan because he cannot feed himself, he cannot even feed the children they have. Even people starting a family is a problem. Because how do you start a family? You cannot even afford rent for yourself, do not have investment, you cannot even help people around you. How do you start? That's what I'm talking about, the Gen Z demonstrations puzzle. This puzzle can be solved, they have said. First of all, deal with corruption in government. Number two, ensure that you invest heavily in agriculture so that there's enough food for everyone. Once people are satisfied, their time is satisfied, you are doing industrialization. You're giving people jobs in the industry, value addition, so that you can even export. Keep our young men busy. Anyone above 18, in fact, let's say all Kenyans who are of age should be busy. They are either in school or they are working in industry. That's what should be happening in this great country of Kenya. Kenya is a great country. But what has happened, you have a few people who want to amass wealth. So if you amass billions, someone has 10,000 acres, 100,000 acres, and you are one person, even your children, great-great-grandchildren cannot finish that wealth. 5,000 acres is so big that if you decided to just take 1,000 and leave the other way for agriculture to employ people and do value addition, you'll still get money. But you want to get all that way so that you say, oh, me, Mr. X, I own acres and acres. For what? And you'll be buried in a small box and put in a hole. So if I was a young man and woman who is part of the Gen Z, accept the government's proposal for stakeholders, but also insist on a way you can express your ideas and just say what you want. You want 1, 2, 3, 4. You should have leadership, junior parliament. You should have jobs. You should have heavy investment in youth, the youth art, whatever you need. That is what we are talking about. So this, how I want to tell the young men and women, the country has heard you. They heard you well. So talk, give a chance for talks, ensure that you also give your ideas, ensure the government starts implementing your ideas, and most importantly, get a voter's card. So that in the next election, you elect leaders that are accountable, they are not corrupt, and who have your values at heart. Not these leaders who just use wave. They just climb on a wave, they enter parliament, and then they become rich, and then they vomit on your shoes because of whatever they have eaten is too much. So that's what I'm talking about. The Gen Z demonstration puzzle. This is how you solve it. Create a forum for people to discuss, stop the demonstrations, invest in agriculture, invest in other big projects, ensure the young men have a place of representation, junior parliament, and lastly, the young people should register as voters so that they elect leaders who are accountable, who can listen to them and take Kenya to the next level. Kenya is a peaceful country and a great country. So God bless Kenya. So this is the Professor Maima Show. If you like what I've said on this channel, please send something on the mobile M-Pesa down there. +254 769 729 327. I repeat again. +254 769 729 327. And as I always say, gwaheri ya kuonana, gwaheri.